My name is Emily, and for most of my life, I believed loyalty was the foundation of all my relationships: family, friendship, love. I never imagined the person who would challenge that belief the most would be the woman I once called my sister, Laura. Laura and I had been best friends since middle school. We survived heartbreaks, college, our first real jobs, everything. And when she got engaged to my brother, Anthony, I genuinely thought life had come full circle in the best way possible. I was her maid of honor, she was marrying into my family, and everything seemed perfect. Until her bachelorette trip. We booked a weekend at a coastal resort. Nothing too wild, just sun, music, and relaxation. Or so I thought. On the second night, Laura ordered entertainment, and when a group of male dancers showed up, I immediately felt uncomfortable, but everyone insisted it was harmless fun. It wasn't. Laura disappeared with one of the dancers, then another. By sunrise, I realized she had slept with all of them, every single one. I confronted her privately, shaking with disbelief. Instead of remorse, she smiled and whispered, "If you tell Anthony, I'll tell Todd what you used to do for a living." My stomach dropped. She was talking about a part of my past I wasn't proud of. Years before I ever met my boyfriend Todd, I worked briefly as an adult entertainer to pay off medical debt. I had always planned to tell Todd at the right moment, but Laura weaponized it instantly. I was torn between protecting my brother and protecting my relationship. When we returned from the trip, Anthony eagerly asked how it went. Laura casually told him it was calming, refreshing, and innocent fun. She didn't even blink. Meanwhile, I felt physically ill from guilt. Over the next week, we shopped for wedding decorations. Laura rambled about color palettes while my mind replayed the sound of doors closing and men slipping into her room. I could barely hear her voice anymore. I knew I had to tell Anthony, but I needed proof. Serious accusations without evidence would destroy two people. So I did something I never imagined myself doing. I invited Laura to a new brunch place near my house and placed my phone on the table, facing her, recording. We chatted like nothing was wrong. Then I slipped the topic into conversation. "What was your favorite moment at the resort?" She giggled and told me she wished she had taken one of the dancers' numbers. I asked, "Which one?" She whispered, "The second guy. He was unbelievable in bed." I nearly dropped my drink. Trying to keep my hand from shaking, I pushed my phone closer and asked, "Was he the best of all of them?" She laughed and said, "By far. The others don't even compare." That was all I needed. The second I got to my car, I called Anthony and told him to meet me at my house immediately. When he arrived, I played the audio. He sat in total silence, jaw clenched, eyes watering. She told me guys at the resort were hitting on her. She flashed the ring I bought her every time, he whispered. I explained why I had waited. Laura's blackmail. Anthony shook his head and said something I'll never forget. "Todd should love you for who you are now, not who you used to be." We agreed on one thing. Laura could never know I recorded her. He would end things for a different reason. 2 weeks later, Laura called me sobbing so hard she couldn't breathe. "He left me, he left me, he left me," she said. She said Anthony claimed they weren't compatible and discovered something on her phone. She asked if he was cheating, if I knew anything, if she should beg him back. I kept my voice neutral. I told her the breakup shocked me too. For months, she stayed at my house, crying on my couch, barely moving. I supported her through the heartbreak, even though she had threatened to destroy my relationship, even though she had cheated on my brother, even though I knew the truth. I guess old habits die hard. I still cared about her. Eventually, she moved back to her apartment. She visited often, seeming lighter each time. Life began to stabilize. One night at dinner, Todd surprised me with a dessert plate decorated with chocolate writing, "Will you marry me?" When I looked up, he was on one knee, smiling that soft smile that made me fall in love with him in the first place. I said yes through tears. The next day, I visited Anthony, who was genuinely happy for me. "You found someone real, unlike Laura." We laughed about the recording, something he said had saved his life. Todd and I spent months planning the wedding. Despite everything, I asked Laura to help, and she accepted with genuine excitement. She brought gifts, helped pick designs, and even bought a ridiculous cartoon portrait of me and Todd that made me laugh until I snorted. For a moment, it felt like maybe, just maybe, everything was healing. My wedding day arrived. Soft music played as I walked down the aisle. Laura stood beside me as my maid of honor. My hands trembled with nerves and joy. Then the officiant asked the traditional question, "Does anyone object?" A voice behind me answered, "I do." I froze. It was Laura. At first, I thought she was joking. She wasn't. "I know she ruined my relationship with Anthony," she announced. "I recorded her without my consent. I heard her admit it in Anthony's house months ago." My blood went cold. The crowd murmured. My chest tightened. "I bugged Anthony's house after the breakup," she continued. "I wanted to see if he cheated, but the only person betraying me was her, my best friend." Then she turned toward Todd and delivered the blow that destroyed my world. "I told Todd about your past, Emily, and guess what? I've been sleeping with him for a year." My legs nearly gave out. Before I could react, Laura grabbed Todd, kissed him passionately in front of everyone, and declared, "If anyone is getting married today, it's going to be me." The crowd gasped. I ran out of the venue in tears. Anthony chased after me, pulling me into a hug as I collapsed in the dressing room. "How could she do this?" I sobbed into his chest. He held me tightly. "You didn't deserve any of this, and I'm not leaving you."